Oftentimes, I get this question about whether or not to spend your personal savings on your startup or investing in yourself versus towards your safety, right? So on one hand, if you don't spend the money, you're potentially limiting the growth of your business or your personal growth as well too. On the other hand, if you spend all of it, you're probably gonna lose sleep over it, right? So today's video, I'm gonna cover 3 simple questions of should you spend it, or how much should you spend, and 2, how much should you really save, and 3, how long should you expect to see that money come back, right? So if you're new to this channel, my name is Tom, and I cover like entrepreneurship lessons because I've left a corporate job of 15 years, decided to go off on my own and figure things out, build my own business, build my own personal brand, and this is just a way for me to share it, my whole experience, my journey with you guys. So if that's interesting to you, definitely subscribe, think about subscribing, and without further ado, I'm gonna go and hop right into it. Okay, so number 1, how much should you spend, okay? So here's a really key thing, and I can speak on this from my personal experience, okay? Is that don't just eliminate your source of income. Like don't just quit cold turkey like I did, right? I was fortunate enough to survive with the money that I saved up, but it screws up your mind, okay? That's the number 1 thing. How much you should spend is gonna be based on how it makes you feel. So if you have a stable job and it allows you and affords you the time to still work on a side hustle, I would recommend holding on to it as you maintain your cushion, and then spend the money or savings that you have that you're comfortable with to build your business, okay? Because if you quit cold turkey, you're gonna shift from the mindset of, instead of focusing on growing your business, you're gonna focus on, crap, I'm gonna have to focus on surviving, right? Because I personally went through that myself, where I was getting tired of bleeding money every month. When you have a mortgage and bills and all these payments that you have to worry about, without having that cash flow, you get into this more scarcity mindset, and that's not where you wanna be. You wanna make sure that you have a sustainable mindset. It may not be an abundant mindset, but a sustainable mindset, meaning think about what it takes for you to still feel good about growing your business without having to worry about keeping the lights on, putting food on the table, and a roof over your head, okay? So that's my recommendation in regards to how much you should be spending, because it's gonna vary from person to person based on the business model that you're pursuing. Okay, so number 2 is how much should you save, right? So this again is my personal recommendation from my personal experience, right? Is that you wanna save at least a few months of monthly expenses, okay? The reason being is you wanna have enough money that you don't have to think about, and if you are very good with your planning and setting those specific goals, whatever that duration may be, whether it's a few months or several months, right? What you wanna do is make sure that you have the monthly expenses covered, where you're not worrying about it. You're okay that money is gonna be supporting your lifestyle, sustaining your current lifestyle, okay? So do that math. Everyone's gonna have very different lifestyle needs, right? So figure out what that number is, and make sure you set that aside, right? And then figure out a portion of the money that you have left over that's gonna help grow your business. Figure out what the initial upfront investment will need to be for you to get going, right, for the next few months, because I guarantee you the first year it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, right? There's a lot of unexpected things that can happen, and you wanna make sure you are financially prepared for it. You never wanna get into what I talked about in point number 1, into a scarcity mindset where you're just desperate. You're just desperate, and you're not gonna think clearly about what you need to achieve. So hopefully that helps out. Again, just do the math, and then you figure out how long you can survive. The longer you can survive, the better off you'll be. All right, on to number 3. How long will it take me
to recover my savings, right? Realistically speaking, probably never. I mean, statistics shows that the initial startup capital that you put into is considered kind of like newfound money, right? It's not secure like a bank. I mean, this money here, you should expect to lose it, right? Now, in several months down the road, when the business starts getting up, you can get your return on investment, but you have to be okay with it to never coming back, right? Because the faster you fail, the faster you learn, the faster you gain experience. There's a good chance that maybe your very first business model that you pursue, you're probably gonna end up losing money, right? So you have to be extremely comfortable with what you put into that initial investment, because there is no guarantee. It is a very high risk investment. So you're just gonna have to be extremely okay with that. With that said, what does that tell you about your level of commitment if you don't invest all your personal savings? Well, all it really tells you is that you are committed. You are so committed that you are willing to invest your personal capital to grow your business. But you're smart enough to know that nothing's ever guaranteed, right? So the most important thing is you have to put yourself in the right financial position to have the right mindset to survive the most crucial years or crucial months when you start your own thing, right? So being a founder, it's very important to understand that having some cushion makes you far more dangerous than being a founder of a business who have no cushion at all, right? You can see how it affects your decisions, where you don't want to be in a desperate scarcity mindset, right? So that's pretty much it today, guys. I would just want to cover really quick those 3 points on how much you should really be spending, how much you should be saving, and what's really the bottom line importance of putting yourself in the right mindset financially, right? Because I went through all of this in my first year, and it was not a good feeling, right? So I would highly recommend, if you are thinking about doing your own thing, just make sure you don't completely eliminate your one source of income. It's called the paycheck, right? It's okay. That is the safest investment by a company into you. Just make sure you do something with it, right? And that is pretty much it. I will catch you guys in the next one. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. I do my best to try to share a lot of the tips and tricks that I learned through my own personal journey of just kind of paving my new path. So other than that, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.